partypoker.net World Open 3. The chips are stacked, the cards are waiting to be dealt, and heartbeats are racing. But only one player can make it through to the semi-final to win their piece of the $500,000 prize pool. Last time, snooker player Jimmy White, who won his place in the celebrity heat, managed to knock out Dave Gregory to get his place in the semi-final. Here's what happened.
The group included Andy Greekfish, Achilles Kalakis, and Dave Gregory. Greekfish checked out a turn. This has gone loopy.
I never said a word, Andy. I don't know what you heard, mate. No.
All in.
Raise all in.
Queen.
Oh, yeah. Nothing.
Queen's up Samaya's rough run on the televised tables. Continuing, just 20 harsh hands for Rummy.
Good game, fellas.
All in.
Oh, cool.
Oh, shit.
Cool.
Wow.
Come on.
Gregory not scared to gamble. It's a straight race. Perhaps that was exactly what it was going to come down
It's
to.
like about him and Queen Jack.
I told you don't go after me too often.
Why, you put it in with the worst again? Not nothing different, is it?
It's all right.
If an ace comes on the flopper, he's going to be in trouble, I fear, Jimmy.
Uh-oh.
All in.
All in.
Dealer's in its end, Jesse.
Oh, my! It's unbelievable!
Oh, Trevor Reardon. That was unlucky. White has kind of been on fire. Uh-oh.
Yeah, but it's also giving him the nut flush. It's giving Jimmy the nut flush. Kalakis the top pair.
River
He's hit the ace again! It's rivered him again! It's incredible. What a heat!
Pretty big hand here for Jimmy White.
This is all over, Jesse. Jimmy will call this. If he's got ace 10, if Gregory's got ace 10, he's unlucky. There we are.
Four.
Oh! Nelly! You can't make an omelet before you break the eggs. Holy Toledo.
Thanks.
Tonight's players include Marc Convey, John McGill, and John Shaw.
My name is Raj Modha. I've been playing poker for 2 years and I'm from Northampton. They all look very tough opponents, so I think I'll have my work cut out today. But it'll be a good game and I'll enjoy it. Well, obviously I'm going to be trying to win it and hopefully I'll come first and get into the semi-final.
Hi, my name's David Sassoon. I've been playing poker for about 3 or 4 years now. I think it'll be a tough game. We've got very good seasoned pros on the table, so I'm looking forward to a good match.
Hello, I'm John Shaw from Dunfermline in Scotland, and I've been playing poker for about 3 years. The chances of winning are, if I get the cards, every chance. My expectations of this match is to get to the semi-final.
Hi, I'm Darren Hickman from Wolverhampton, West Midlands in England. I've been playing poker for most of my life. It's a very strong table, it's going to be tough. Chances of winning are pretty good. I've got a good record in short-handed tournaments, so hoping for the best. I think I'm going to have an edge over the other players just because of my experience.
Hi, I'm John McGill from Ballymena in County Antrim, and I've been playing poker for 35 years. I'm here to win. My motto in the game is play to win, and that's why I'm here. What makes me better than the rest of the players is I'm very lucky. I rely a lot on my luck. I'm a lucky player.
Hi, my name is Marc Convey. I'm from London and I've been playing poker for about just over 18 months. Confident if I get the cards and I know how to play them, so we'll just see how it goes. You've got to come in here thinking you've got to win. There's no point thinking, there's no prizes for second place, so all I'm focused on is that first place today.
Jimmy White's unbelievable run continues, but who of these will join him in the semis? The chips, players beginning with 100,000 each in tournament chips. The yellow's worth 1,000. The blues are 2, the reds are 5. 600,000 in play. You must get them all to progress to the semi-finals, where we know already, Andy, Jimmy White awaits. Blinds will start, as always, at 1 in 2,000, 21 hands per level. And I can see right off, Andy, that the two players on this table who have never played on TV before, both bringing out the dark shades, David Sassoon and Marc Convey. Does that help hide the nerves?
I believe they think it does, but you can see, you know, David's very nervous, but this is his biggest event he's ever played, you know. Very nervous player at the moment.
Yeah, you know David well. He qualified at your local club, didn't he? The Equal Chance.
Yeah, he qualified that Equal Chance, and his biggest win was 2,500 in his life. So this is, you know, a dream for him. You know, looking around the table, playing with these world-class players, he must feel amazing.
And Marc Convey in the 2-seat qualified from the Gutshot Club. He's a frequent player on the EPT scene, but mostly as a blogger. I think this is his first shot at a big tournament, so he's looking a bit nervous himself.
Yeah, but he's a consistent winner, and he feels confident if he gets the cards.
No, I don't play on the weekends unless I've qualified for a big competition or something. Just do it Monday to Thursday.
Cards out now for the first hand. What are you looking for early? Who's going to set the pace?
John McGill has done this time and time again, and he knows exactly how to play these tournaments, and he will set the pace from the start, I feel.
He's sitting in the center of the table, and yeah, raising the first hand.
6,000 total.
Under the gun, King Jack, raising hand.
I wonder if Daz Hickman on McGill's left is going to be a little thorn, because Daz is not shy to put the blockers in the re-raise department.
Cool.
Sassoon here. That's an optimistic call with the ace-5 in the small blind.
Very strange. He's making his mark on the game from the start, I think, yeah?
I mean, he is right. The ace is good. Does he know McGill's reputation, you wonder?
I just think he's not going to be bullied around, and he's making a statement very early.
Conde with the suited connectors. Three-way here. Already 18,000 in the flop. And a nice flop for Sassoon.
Check. Check.
He's done the right thing there, checking.
Is it a check raise?
I think so.
8,000.
He needs to find out where he is right now.
I mean, you know, these tournaments are so dangerous to play because your stack is not so deep. I mean, the bet's 8. If he sticks 20 in, it's going to be getting on half his stack.
Oh.
The correct play there is to probably raise to find out where you are. Because knowing John McGill, he could do anything on the turn now.
McGill giving a beady little look over to Sassoon. And it's certainly going to be an overcard. I mean, Sassoon's going to have to make a decision at some point for all his chips. McGill, oh, look at this.
Well done, well done.
Is this a strong play, or is he leaving himself open?
Excellent play. He's finding out where he is now. He's come out betting, and John can't call this. He just cannot call here. Makes it look good, as if he's got a decision to make, but there's no decision here.
12,000. In actual fact, a big old raise would have to take Sassoon off this hand. I mean, there's no way he's going to go out the very first hand. Oh my God!
Fantastic, absolutely fantastic. This is what makes John the player he is.
But I mean, Andy, isn't this a case that John just knows that Sassoon does not want to go out the first hand of the biggest tournament of his life?
He's using experience. This is McGill at his best. That's fantastic play. I mean, it could be very reckless if he gets called here, but fantastic.
18,000 more, and Sassoon, welcome to the big leagues.
He's not going to call. Surely.
Does he have the kind of temperament where he would be willing to get knocked out with an ace-5 the very first hand?
I would definitely say not. If this was a cash game, then I feel it would make a huge statement, but he can't. You know, he just can't do it.
18, sorry.
I mean, this is an incorrect play if he does make the call, but what a play. What a read. Fantastic play.
He must be trembling. Will he go for the rest of them? There's 94,000 in there. And what if it comes a jack or king? More fun if it doesn't.
Dear me. Check, check.
If McGill makes the big bet, how can Sassoon call?
I don't know how he called the first bet, to be honest with you. And he's reaching for chips.
15.
That's a bit defensive, isn't it?
That's very defensive. Will John see it as a defensive bet?
Can McGill win with an all-in?
I think he's got to win with an all-in, but it's a huge pot. It's, you know, 109,000 already, first hand. I mean, you only start with 100,000. This dictates your tournament for the rest of the evening.
I mean, McGill must think he's got something huge right now. It looks like ace-queen.
Pass.
Wow! First hand! How strong was that?
That's amazing. I'm completely shocked by that. David Sassoon is here to play. He's here to play. It's fantastic.
It was nearly reckless, wasn't it?
It was completely reckless. I mean, I couldn't do that myself personally, but it just shows you John McGill, world-class player, read it right and thought David would put the hand down, but David, exceptional. He's made a huge statement now.
Suicidal or a superstar? McGill can only wonder.
Well, I'll tell you what, the table think twice about having it with David Sassoon now. That's, yeah, if he showed them, oh my God. If he showed the hand as well.
Do you think maybe Sassoon woke up this morning and said, I'm going to get involved that first hand just to send a message to these guys?
I think David's a little bit intimidated by his very strong field here, and he's making a statement very early on. I'm very interested. Oh, he's woke up with a pair here as well. Jacks.
Oh, cool.
Call.
Oh, that's a good call. Trying to trap.
And look who's in the big blind. His old friend, John McGill.
Marc Convey here with a pair of fours.
Raise.
Raise.
7 to play.
7,000 total.
Well, Mark can be
Pass.
forgiven for making this play, but he's going to find out in a hurry. His jacks are no good, isn't he?
Well, you know, there's two ways of playing that hand. It's, you know, you could play it either way. You could limp in and try and catch a big flop,
Re-raise.
or try and take the pot there and then.
It's 5 more for that, yeah?
Yeah.
Because of what happened the last hand,
With 20,000 more.
Greekfish, these guys have to think that Sassoon is at it.
They'll be thinking that David's at it now, but, you know, he's got a pair of jacks. He's using the cards while he's getting them, and that's fantastic. I'm very pleased for him. If he carries on like this, he's got every chance of progressing.
What's going through Convey's head right now?
He's thinking a pair of fours is not that strong.
Pass.
He's probably thinking, why
Correct
did I
fold.
just call? Who does this guy think he is? David Sassoon. Talk about announcing yourself to the poker world.
Well, this guy is, he plays at the local club Equal Chance, and he won a satellite for this event, like for 20 quid or something like that. And he beat a very good field there. And I'll tell you, he's come to win. You can see he's focused and he's not intimidated by the field, and that's brilliant. He's going to have a good game, I think.
Three happiest guys at the table right now, John Shaw, Raj Modha, and Daz
Pass.
Hickman. They've got a lot of free information about the danger in the one seat.
Pass.
I think they're just going to sit and wait for a hand now. They can see that there's, well, it seems that David's very aggressive, and obviously John McGill, they know what he's all about, so they're just going to wait for a hand, I think.
Convey's come to play as
Raised.
well.
6,000 total. Pass.
4,000 more on the button for the bomber.
It's very unlikely he's got better hands behind him which could call his
Pass.
raise. So it's a good play. It's a good raise. Get them blinds.
How do you view the first level of these tournaments? I mean, is it a time to try and play a lot of flops or a time to play real tight?
Well, there's no right or wrong way to play. I mean, me personally, I like to be a bit of a rock in the first level, because even if you fold every single hand, you're going to lose 9,000 chips, which still leaves you with 91,000, which is plenty to play with. But a lot of people like John believe that you should play your suited connectors and see as many cheap flops as you can and try and break a big hand. There's no right or wrong way about it. It comes to styles. But I mean, we've got mixed styles at this table, so it's fascinating in that respect.
It is fascinating. I mean, and right now, McGill, who's done half his stack, is wishing probably he was more of a rock like Hickman.
Call.
McGill will move soon. He won't wait about it. He's too clever to be blinded away, and he knows it's very early still, so he'll just try and take the weak money.
Call.
Couple limp-ins. Sassoon
Pass.
with the 3-4 offsuit.
And Convey mixing it up with ace-2 suited there.
Call.
You know, it's just as far as table talk goes, if McGill had won that first
raise.
hand, he'd probably be
No raise.
chattering away. Since he lost, this table's quiet.
He would have driven mad when he wins a pot. If he should win the next pot, then he's going to drive everyone crazy.
Well, two players have hit this jack. How's it betting
Check.
going to go?
Check.
Check.
I'm not sure.
8,000.
8,000.
Oh, this man cannot be stopped.
He's a brave boy.
And if you're Daz Hickman
Pass.
right now, how do you feel about your second pair?
Well, he can raise and find out where he is. He could just call, or he could put him on the king and put it away.
Pass.
Shaw with the weaker hand
Pass.
feels the same way. This guy has got danger written all over him. Nobody wants to look him up, and in fact, nobody's seen what he's playing with yet.
That's right. For all they know, he could have ace, and he's doing the right thing at the moment. He's using his chips, and they're all terrified against him.
Look at these chip counts. Sassoon up to 165,000, and look at the rest of the table. They're all just staring at him.
Well, they don't have to do nothing yet. No one's in real trouble. John's lost a few chips, and I'm sure he'll get them back later on. But you know, Raj has sat there, got a load of free information, and he's still got what he started with, and he'll be quite happy and feeling confident still.
Yeah, I mean, there's two guys at this table who have over $1 million in career winnings at the poker table.
Pass.
Must be bad.
World class players. I mean, Raj winning the million, 1.2 million on Ladbrokes recently. I mean, played fantastic, and I know he's full of confidence coming into this tournament.
Raised to 6,000 total. Pass.
Daz Hickman's last time out was his biggest win ever on the poker table on the partypoker.net European Open. The second place to Liam Flood, worth nearly 100,000 potatoes.
Great result for him. He's made a good raise here. It was ace-9 suited. Wow.
Cool.
And is this the kind of thing, is Raj Modha just sort of sending a message that he can't be picked on, he's going to defend?
Well, that's what he's trying to do, because it's pretty cheap, and also he knows he can catch a big flop and bust a big hand.
He's got the best pair, but Daz has got a flush draw.
Well, I think Daz has got a bet here.
8,000.
And I think Modha will be looking him up here for at least this 8,000. And notice how he's taking his time here to make Hickman think that he's stronger than what he is.
Raised.
Now this is dangerous.
Well, it's dangerous, but you know, this is how he's finding out if his 8 is any good. Because he knows if he gets called here, he could put him on a draw, or he could put him on the king, so he could get away from the hand.
Re-raised.
Wow, I thought Daz was going to peel one off. He's re-raised. How strong is that?
That's fantastic play, and it's the correct play as well. And Modha cannot call this now. He's got to throw it away.
20,000 more.
Take a few seconds to look good, so they don't think he was weak, and then that's in the bin.
Just shows the power of getting the money in first. I mean, Hickman's going to win this without having to hit the flush, isn't he?
Took a lot of courage from Hickman. He could have been up against the king there, and you know, he's like an even money shot to hit his flush, and he weren't going to mess about. He wants to win the pot now.
Look at Daz's countenance. I mean, he's just staring straight ahead. He looks like he's in a bar fight, doesn't he?
Yeah, and also look at John McGill studying him. He's sitting there, you know, looking at both players now, trying to get some form of read for later on in the tournament.
I think he's looking at Raj and saying, "Here, me and you are. We've got all the money, and these guys are taking pot shots at us."
And John Shaw is falling asleep. Okay, Raj, you've made it look good now. You can put it down.
Yeah, you know, Raj did a lot. Yeah, you're right, you are, Greek. I was going to say, Raj did make a lot of strange calls on his way to winning $1 million.
Yeah, he did, but Raj, you know, through that tournament got a lot of experience, and he played some great players. I remember him having an epic battle with Ian Fraser, and for him to come through that, you know, he's got what it takes to win something like this very easily. But he's up against some great players.
And Daz Hickman taking one off Modha there.
It does played that really well.
This is the partypoker.net World Open 3. Tonight, our 6 players are riffling their chips and checking out their cards. Let's go back over to our commentators.
Players still settling into this game. Full table of 6 and under the gun action for John Shaw. Bit of a change up here, limping in under the gun for John Shaw, and that's brought Raj Modha, bring everybody in.
Well, he's about 7.5 to 1 to make a set on the flop here.
Pass.
And he knows if he does, he's going to run into some form of hand and get paid off, so I like that limp.
Cool.
This is great news for Daz Hickman.
No worries.
A nice free flop.
Well, someone's got to hit the flop, surely.
I'll check my blind.
Okay, we have a check on the blind.
McGill checking in the blind here with 8-9.
Couple kings
Check.
out. Oh, this could be interesting.
This could be very interesting now.
Check. Check.
Tell you what the scary thing is here.
Check.
David Sassoon actually has the best hand.
And will they believe it?
Why did he check there in late position? That's dangerous, isn't it?
Well, it's a scary board with all
Check.
these players in, you know.
5,000.
But here we go. Set of threes for sure.
Yeah.
Raise.
And that's a good
20,000.
raise. And the reason that he's raised that is because if someone's got Queen Jack here, which is a playable hand, or Ace Queen, Ace Jack, or the Diamond Draw, he wants to charge him a price to try and outdraw him here. So that's a good raise. And Sassoon thinks he's winning now.
He's outthunk himself here, David Sassoon, hasn't he?
Yep, he thinks he's winning. He should have bet when he had the chance. And obviously a pair of threes can't call.
Re-raise. 20 more, 40 total.
Well, he's going to find out in a big way here
Pass,
where he is.
All in.
I mean, all in from John Shaw. Quick all in. Daz Hickman got out of the way. And I just wonder here.
Call.
He's called it.
Oh,
that's terrible. That's very unfortunate.
Has Sassoon been unlucky here, or has he really missed a big bet 5 ways?
In honesty, Sassoon's played this wrong by not betting on the flop, and he's let him catch up. And obviously, he's in huge ways out there. He's lost this pot. Drawing dead.
Yeah, great news for John Shaw at David Sassoon. Boy, it hit him like a ton of bricks, didn't it?
I'm amazed. He's played fantastic. And usually where he plays, King, Queen, top pair with a Queen kicker's fantastic. It's good news. You'll win most of the time. But, yes. It's an hard one now. He should have bet on the flop.
That river card immaterial, the 3 threes were always going to be good once it hit.
And Shaw takes the pot down, and now he's going to be locked up for the next level, I would have thought. He don't have to do nothing. He's got plenty of chips.
This late night poker ace winner. Yeah, he's locked up for sure.
58,000.
First man over 200,000. That is a strong statement.
Well, I mean, he done the right thing. He checked on the flop. He couldn't bet on the flop. He's hit the turn. As we said, it was about 7.5 to 1. He got lucky on the turn and he got paid off. But really, David put himself in trouble there by not betting. He should have bet the flop. I mean, what did he expect to flop? What was he hoping to flop with King Queen?
I guess you could say Shaw's been gifted those chips. But how about that call of the all in on the turn? Was there anything that Sassoon could be beating at that stage, you think?
Not much, but the thing is, Sassoon read that his king was good on the flop, and he didn't think a free would, help anyone's hand, and I could see the reason why. But unfortunately, he was wrong on this occasion. But I've been very impressed with him, and he's done himself a lot of justice. And after what we've seen so far, it wouldn't surprise me if he made a comeback anyway.
John Shaw stacking the spoils. How good does he feel? This is a great start for him.
Well, as a poker player, I could say he'd be sitting there full of confidence now, thinking, God, I don't have to do nothing for another hour now, And he's going to sit there and wait for hands to eventually come, and he's got plenty of chips now.
Yeah, I mean, you've seen a lot of these. That early double through is such a strong position, isn't it?
Huge, absolutely huge. He could sit back now and literally let the other boys have a fight, unless, obviously, he wakes up with a hand.
Oh, cool.
And Sassoon comes in with a pair of 8s straight away. See, I don't like this call because after losing that pot, he should make it probably 8,000 to play here.
Yeah, I mean, Sassoon can look at his chips and say, I've got plenty of chips. I have 71,000, but he's probably just swirling.
Well, the thing is, I've got no objection with him limping with 8s. But, I mean, now what's he going to do? What's the raise here?
I think he said no. He said no raise.
Oh, right, I got you.
I thought he raised as well.
Right.
Check.
We've missed everyone here.
Check.
And it's up to Sassoon to take this pot now.
It's amazing. You miss one bet and it takes all your chips. It's a dangerous game.
8,000.
It is. Going back to that hand, I mean, he thought his king was good on the flop, and as I said, he couldn't see how 3 helped anyone else's hand. And that's why there was a very quick call all in. He takes this pot down.
It's a hard game, this no limit hold'em, and in only 10 short hands, Sassoon has been to Nirvana and back again. But it's John Shaw with 200,000.
John Shaw's flying at the moment, yeah, after that pot, and Darren Hickman just behind him now. I really feel sorry for John McGill. He's a quality player, and he ain't had nothing go right for him so far today.
Call.
He does have $1 million to lean back on. I mean, I feel sorry for him too, but not really that
Pass.
sorry. I mean, he's a lovely guy, but he's not playing for his rent
Pass.
money here, is he?
No, I wish I had $1 million to fall back to as well. Big hand there for Darren.
He can
Raise
handle
to
it.
8,000 total.
He's going to be in
Pass.
the game for a while.
That's a good rise there. Good rise to 8,000 with ace queen suited. And Raj could give him action here. Don't be surprised if he gets re-raised.
Call.
No, he's just called. And Sassoon's in a mountain of trouble here if an ace comes.
Call.
Mind you, it'd be the last one in the deck, Jesse.
Yeah. This is a very optimistic call from Sassoon. The limp and then the call of the raise.
Well, they're all going to miss the flop here. Well, maybe not. This is exactly what
Check.
Hickman wanted to see.
Check. 20,000.
I mean, you know, a lot of people would accuse Hickman of playing sort of the very solid ABC poker, but it's not such a bad game, ABC poker, is it?
It's the right way to play these. I mean, if you look at the board now, we've got 10 queen 7 here. There's a flush draw possibility. There's a straight draw possibility. He's got to protect his hand now, and that's a very, very good bet.
Pass.
It's the right size bet, which is very important also. See, Sassoon now has got the ace of clubs, and if he did check for whatever reason and the next card was a club, then where is he, you know?
I think what he's got right now is a cloudy brain. You know, you can see his fingers are
Pass.
telling him to push the cards in the muck, and his brain's screaming raise.
I think you've called that 100% right, Jesse.
Raise with the best hand.
Well, David's not scared to go out, obviously.
Sorry?
He started this tournament, you know, attacking, and I think he's got no fear. He's not intimidated. He's playing his game here. But I'll tell you, as a player, Mr. Hickman there would be feeling very happy now, taking that pot down and full of confidence. And
Yeah, I mean, Daz would be the kind of player, like you say, he's expecting to get at the second level with 91,000. This is a huge bonus for him.
He's played correct at the moment.
Pass.
Daz and John Shaw, I mean, they're sitting there with a few chips now. But this is
Raise
the other
6,000
element to it.
total.
You get a few chips and you
Pass.
want to start pushing the table about with 8-9 suited, which is a good cash
Pass.
game hand. But I mean, in these tournaments, I'm not so sure about at this stage.
Pass.
Pressing the advantage home is Daz.
Yep, he's in form and he's capitalising on it. All it takes, as you said, Jesse, is one mistake here. With 100,000 chips to start with, if you have one bluff go wrong, you find yourself in trouble, as John McGill would tell you. And then, you know, you're sitting there playing your real poker game, trying to build up chips again.
When Daz there, when he got second in the last Party Poker European Open, he seemed to have a great knack for timing. It's something that great poker players just have, isn't it? You can't really explain it.
It's a natural ability, and obviously over the years of you playing, you pick things up. But it's very important. And I love the way John does this. Very calm, puts his chips in, always the same way.
Pass.
McGill's got a problem
Pass.
here. He's only got 43,000. He gets
Pass.
too much action here. He's in trouble, isn't he? Uh-oh.
Here we go.
I'll raise.
Re-raise.
And it depends how much he raises what John would do here. Is he in the mood to gamble, John? Because
Less than 6,000.
well, he's made it pretty cheap.
15,000 more, 21 total.
You almost feel like against any other player, McGill would take these straight in the
Pass.
muck, don't you?
Straight away, but I mean, I'm not sure he's capable of folding this at this precise time. He's not had nothing go right for him, and sitting there, he will know he needs chips. Is this the hand to gamble with, or should he wait, you know? I mean, facing a re-raise for Sassoon could mean anything, because no one's seen his hands yet, well, apart from the king, mind you.
I know Sassoon does have the nuts here, but, I mean, McGill is he right in thinking that Sassoon might do this with something that ace-nine's beaten?
Well, yeah, he knows Sassoon will probably raise him with a pair or a big ace. And the problem is, for John here, if he goes all in and he gets called, he knows he's in huge trouble. You can't even say that he's got a 50-50 shot with two overcards if he's putting him on a pair. But he's called it.
That's a long call from behind.
Well, we have to see what happens here. If an ace comes, then, oh, you can safely say goodbye to John. Well, there you go, he's hit the 9. there's a flush. Oh, it's not a flush draw. Sorry, it's the spades. Yeah. Well.
Not very much.
Here we go. Trash talk.
22.
He's definitely going to be called here. John be moving in.
22,000.
He's got no choice here. He's got to put it in.
A better word. Have you got any of that? Have you? What? Have you got any of that? Have you?
I might have.
You might have. I have. Well.
It's a big mistake. Sassoon, don't talk to him.
You're
know what
100% right. He's good at this, McGill.
McGill plays high stakes cash games as well. He knows exactly what he's doing.
And you know that. So you have to expect me to call, don't you?
He's right. McGill's right. He's going to have to, you know, Sassoon must expect a call here, and he's come out betting. And that's, you know, making John think now, well, is my nine's any good?
Queen, sure you don't.
Sorry?
You don't have a queen.
Are you telling me I don't?
No, I'm telling you and asking you at the same time.
Okay. Well, it costs you 22,000.
Find out.
Sassoon, keep quiet. He's going to get a read on him.
But like,
this is very like.
I mean,
there's not a lot you can do with 22,000. That's the problem. Maybe we need to get lucky here.
The problem is, John's right what he said. He has to be in here. Because will he get a better spot with 22,000 left? And I think the answer's no for that.
How much is there?
There was an excellent spot to save 15,000 before the flop, wasn't there? I mean, he's got his 9 golf suit for crying out loud. He's hit his 9. I mean,
what did he want to hit? That's what I'm saying. There's only one overcard on the flop. It's a 66,000 pot. I think he's got 22,000 left.
I love the way John McGill plays, but I'm confused.
Well, I think he's got to be putting it in here.
66.
I think he's got 22 left. If he's got 22 left, he's going to try and wait for a better spot.
As I say, I'm a lucky player. Need to get lucky.
All the talk, but at the end of the day, he's got to put his money in.
Been first out, that's the problem.
He's thinking of folding, I can't believe it.
That's not what you want to see. All right, show me your queen.
Well done, John. Good call.
Cool.
He waited and waited, didn't he,
Yeah.
Andy? And Sassoon got more and more rattled.
Well, Sassoon never said nothing. He would have had a better chance of winning the pot.
Well,
But John's an expert at this. He gets reads of people by listening to them talking.
Yeah, this is bad news for Sassoon, but he does have a couple live kings in the deck.
Of course, and it wouldn't surprise me if he hit one of them.
Keep the pussy on top of them chaps. Keep
He who
the pussy
dares,
on top of
Jesse.
them
He who
chaps.
dares.
Huge news for John McGill. He's going to be right back in this with 88,000. He is all in, of course.
He's a huge danger if he wins
Right.
this. The
Think
table are
positive,
terrified
Williams,
now. They want him to lose.
Positive. You too. You too.
If you're in Raj's spot here, then you want him to lose this.
Club means nothing.
One more time.
Just 3 kings in the deck, that's all Sassoon can hit. He's going to be very short if he doesn't.
Happy days.
Happy days. He's a relieved man, I'll tell you.
Lucky. I'm telling you, luck, Sam.
And I can't blame
Can't do nothing,
Sassoon
can't
there,
do
really.
nothing.
He's got ace-king there. He's made the
Thank
correct
you.
play.
Cheers.
It's very
I see
unlikely
that
that
stick
John
all in
McGill
next
had any
times.
other flop, and obviously he did, and he just run into
Nice
a better
bet,
hand.
by the
Unlucky.
way. You had to push, like, you know.
Bit of the needle.
Back in the game.
John is so
Oh, it's
relieved
gone.
now. Look at him. Now you're going to hear table talk.
He gets the heart pumping.
He can't shut up now. Look at him.
Sees mine.
Poor David Sassoon. I'll tell you what, he's aged about 74 years in these 14 hands. The poor guy. Welcome back to the partypoker.net World Open 3.
Was that too quick?
Still 6 ways, and you can see the gaps opening up
Sorry
in the
about that.
chips. John Shaw, the big lead, and 3 players under their starting stack.
I just can't believe Sassoon's still, you know, how, you know, he must feel so intimidated. Look at the field here. I mean, this guy's won $2.5 grand in his life, you know.
It's true, but he must feel a bit as well like he's got a second life. I mean, the way the first level went for him, to be in there with 70,000 now, he could just take a few minutes, clear his head, get some water down.
Yeah, it'd be good when he has a break, when he's got his 10-minute break, he's going to be reassessing everything. And he's been lucky to get back in now, but he's got a chance.
A limp in from Shaw with the lucky 3s. Modha followed with the ace-7, and now we're blind and blind here. Looks like 4 ways unless McGill wants to get creative.
Well, I've seen McGill get creative from this position before. And here we go.
He's a hard man to keep down, this John McGill. If he senses weakness, Andy.
Well, the thing is, he's saying it, look, if anyone had a real hand, they would have raised. So I'm going to put everyone to the test now and raise now. And, you know, if you think of it from that point of view, he's right. Because, you know, no one's got a real hand there. I mean, sure, even his threes, he knows he's 7-1 and he's made the call, though.
Now, this is the John Shaw we know and love. He's got a steel backbone. And I'll tell you what, 3 overcards can come on that flop, and Shaw is capable of backing up.
Not against John.
Judgment.
Not against John. And Raj makes a sensible fold there. Convey follow. That's right.
McGill better be careful here. I tell
you know what's going to happen here, don't you, Jess? A king eye flop with a 3 on it.
I think they're both going to miss, and all the money's going to go in. That's what I think.
Wow. There's the 3. Oh my God. Can John get away from this? He's checked.
This could be the end for McGill.
Well, check raise, yeah. I'm hoping that he thinks about this rather than just pushes. That's a great bet by Shaw. And the reason that it's a great bet is because he doesn't know that McGill's got nothing. And by betting his 3 threes, you know, McGill can't put him on a hand. He's thinking, well, if he had a big hand, why would he bet? He'd be trying to trap me. So, you know, professionals think different ways to other people. That's a good fold and a good bet in the end. See, if you run into, you know, top pair like ace queen or queen 10, even if you hit 2 pair now, he's going to be re-raised all in. So it's a good bet on the long run.
Great stuff from Shaw. I think all credit to McGill that he's still in this tournament.
Yeah, yeah.
I thought he was done. I thought he was a gone pecan.
Well, that's the class player he is. He could have made a move there as well. He could have re-raised all in, but he must have sensed something. He got a read of him, and he's threw it away.
John Shaw, he used to always tell a story when he's done a lot of these TV interviews about getting held up in his armored car, and I think he fought off the robbers with nothing but a crowbar or something like that. They had guns.
Oh,
he certainly doesn't get scared at the poker table.
No, he don't. He's adapting his game. He's changing it a little bit now. At the start, remember how tight he was? Sassoon's limped here with 4s. Now this is a big hand for John again.
I'm all in.
Yeah, I thought it was much.
Raise all in.
Well, you said it about McGill. He's got his line in the sand, and either he's going to move forward or you know, double up or go home. Really.
Well, that's right. And he's saying, look, it takes a big hand to call me, and even if they do call me, I'll still hope I hit my ace.
McGill will be delighted to be in a 50-50 shot here if Sassoon does call, won't he?
I think he wants the call, to be honest. Yeah, he knows he needs to double
34.
up.
34.
And he's going to get called in.
Sorry, 32.
Another 32,000. You know, it's a big amount at this stage considering their chip stacks. I mean, Sassoon, if he folds it, you couldn't blame the guy for folding. And equally, if he pushed all in, and you know, if he called it, you couldn't blame him. If he puts John on a big ace or, you know, 2 overcards and knows a coin flip, then you know he's got every right to call. But to be honest, if he folded it, you couldn't turn around and say it's, you know, bad fold. Because you've got to look at it from their point of view, Jesse. He's just paid $7,000 to enter this tournament, and people at home watching this, they'll be sitting there thinking, yeah, I would have called. But, you know, when you're talking about $7,000 on the line, and you're playing for such big amounts, it's totally different. All the added pressure.
I mean, it is one of the things about No Limit Hold'em is it's how people view the race. Do they look for it? Do they want it? Do they need it? Do they avoid it?
It depends how much money they've got. I mean, Sassoon, this is a huge tournament for him. Now, the last thing he wants to do is go and beating himself up how he made a terrible call with a pair of 4s. Now, that's a good fold. I mean, he's not to know what John had, and he's made the correct play there.
I mean, at the end of the day, he might find a better opportunity for his money, where he's 60-40 or 70-30.
I think you're absolutely right, and I think that's what will happen anyway. I mean, John's got his line in the sand, and he's prepared to gamble.
McGill has set out his stall, and he is the short stack, but not for long.
I first started poker 36 years ago, 35 years ago now, 6 years old. Away on holidays, there was not much to do, so my great aunt taught me how to play poker, me and my brother, when we were away on holidays. My career highlight has to be the World Series of Poker last year. I come 12th in the main event, and it was really exciting. Like, I didn't even feel like I was there, but it was really, really something else. I'm looking forward to it this year again. You need support. It helps whenever, especially when you're away somewhere like the World Series, when you're on your own. There's nothing. Okay, you know a few poker players, but you don't really know them. You know when you see them at the other games. But the family support is really, really important. I always knew I wanted to go to Las Vegas. That's just been my dream. You don't mean to go there and play. I qualified on Party Poker for $11 in 2005, and I got there and it was unbelievable. Like, all expenses paid, flights, accommodation. You know what I mean? It's really good. Party Poker really looked after us, and it was a real experience once I got in, and that was me. You know what I mean? I was going to be there every year, no matter what. I've read a lot of poker books, watched a lot on TV. I put a lot of hours in online playing. And I really enjoy it, I really do. And I'd say it's a good part of my life, you know what I mean, next to my family. This is very important for me. I played in this last year, I finished 12th, the same as the World Series, and I really, really enjoyed it. I'm going to win. I have to win. It'll be me and Raj, I reckon, heads up. Unless one of the two of us knock each other out early on, I have to win the game. I've come here to win. I always say, play to win. That's my motto.
You never know, Jesse, with a double up here and a couple of wins here and there, you know, this could go very quickly.
You have to be in it to have a chance in it.
I like the way Marc Convey's just sat down quietly, looking at the table. You know, he's not done nothing silly.
He's been a great observer, hasn't he?
He has, yeah. He's a dark horse for this, I'll tell you.
8,000 for raise.
Sassoon getting busy.
Now this is a cash hand, Jesse. I mean, 9, 10 of spades. This is, you know, you want to see a flop with that hand. You don't want to be raising from there. But the thing is, he's thinking, I'm going to get respect if I raise from this position. And he knows he's got 2 live cards. Also, if he does get called.
Just wonder if Sassoon's got a very playable hand if he had about 45,000 more chips. But he's hanging himself on a limb here, isn't he?
Well, he's lying in the sand also, like, you know, you see John previous guy. But if he gets called here, it's, you know, he's got difficult decisions later on. And Shaw's folded here. He's done him a huge favour, and I'll tell you what, Sassoon shouldn't do that too much against this field. You're not at equal chance, seriously, you can't do that, mate.
He's picked up 6,000 anyway. And reshuffle, redeal.
That's been brilliant so far. Raj has still got chips, he's sitting there being patient. John Shaw still in and chip leader, flying. Darren Hickman's waiting for a hand. John McGill's going to be pushing it all in any time now. Convey's waiting for a hand, and, you know, Sassoon, well, Lotto springs to mind.
You know, I love the way Convey has settled in. The nerves, I think he's over his bout of nerves. I wonder about Sassoon. His adrenaline, it seems like it's just been rushing all the time. He's played like 80% of the hands, for crying out loud.
Yeah, but you got to say it's been brilliant TV. He's fantastic.
Well, there he's limped in with the King Deuce.
I was worried about him, you know, being frozen here, and I was thinking he's going to freeze when he starts playing, but he's been the complete opposite.
I mean, you know, the question begs: if you do play the King Deuce, what are you looking for? Because he's hit the pair here.
That's right, yeah. Well, he should have probably bet there. See, Modha's sitting there, and he's got a draw for a 5 here. He could have tried to steal it there and then.
Last time Modha tried to take a lashing at Sassoon, he got raised all in, didn't he?
Yeah, that's right, yeah. And he remembered that as well. But I mean, you know, looking at it, you know, looking at the board as it is now.
Check.
I mean, a pair of 2s, I find it very difficult to call any bet there.
These are going to be among the first cards Sassoon has turned over in a while.
Yeah. And what the other players will be thinking, wow, you know, look at what they've just done. They've just checked it out. I mean, Raj will be thinking, I could have bet and took that. And also Sassoon will be thinking the same thing, both checking it out there.
I mean, it's certainly not going to be lost on these players that Sassoon limped in under the gun with the King Deuce of Diamonds.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, they would, they're pleased they've seen that, let's put it that way.
Looking at the chip counts. Daz Hickman down to 48,000. What's happened to him?
Daz is being patient. I mean, he got unlucky. I mean, when you run into that set of nines, I mean, what can you do? I mean, he must be feeling sick. But I'll tell you what, he's doing exactly the right thing now. This is the best thing what he could do is just sit there and wait now.
Yep.
He doesn't have to get married to any pot at 2,000, 4,000. He's still got enough chips to make people fold, and if he gets a good hand, to get paid off.
I'll raise.
Raise.
Modha.
Yeah, Raj knowing that queen check's probably good here with a player behind.
6 is the raise, 10 total.
And Sassoon shouldn't call this. He should throw this straight in the bin.
Modha knows full well he's taken on the most unpredictable player at the table.
Of course,
You're too kind.
And he's put it away. Yeah, he's thrown it away. What I've noticed about Sassoon here, whenever he starts talking, he does the wrong thing. He's got to keep quiet and play his game. I mean, you know, he's obviously a good enough player to be here. That's why he's here. And he's done himself proud so far. I think he's just got to wait. He's got to tighten his game up a little bit. He wants to have a look at Mr. Hickman, how he's been playing.
Still in the middle of the second level. I tell you what, these guys have all gotten their money's worth.
Another classic.
They've got better value than I did, let's put it that way. And we're just waiting for hands now. These players will be sitting there praying for their big hands now. They need them.
Raise.
This is the third time that John Shaw's had 2 nines.
Yeah, he likes that hand. He's playing them a little different this time. He's raising. He wants to get
16 total.
all the rubbish out the pot early. Oh, wow.
Big hand.
Raj has got aces here, dear me.
Shaw's made it 4 times to bet, and Raj.
Raj is actually doing really well what he's doing. He's laughing away as if he's got nothing.
He's good at this.
Yeah, he's very good at this. Look at the expressions on his face, Jesse. Oh, that's fantastic.
Wow, that's gutsy.
That's impressive. The only problem now, Raj should be hoping that no one else calls and it's just between the two of them.
Actually, that's right.
Wow, I'll tell you, we can see it all in here.
I think Sassoon might hang himself.
I'll tell you, King, Queen of Diamonds, like that.
You know, I mean, slow playing aces, of course, Greekfish. It's so dangerous. What are the factors when you should do it? I mean, why has Modha done it here?
Well, Modha's done it here because he knows Shaw's going to come out betting no matter. Well, he's hoping so anyway. And he could just literally take his time now, call, and get all the money off the table and let's get seriously unlucky. But this is what I like about Modha. Look at him, he's smiling away as if, you know, he ain't got a care in the world. And you cannot read this guy for having aces at the moment. Oh, I'll tell you all the money's going in here.
Check.
Check.
He's checked to raise here.
It's no 3, you see.
7, 8, 9, 10. Shaw has 4 ways to a straight.
Yeah, he's checked to raise here.
Modha's favourite.
Yeah, Modha's got a bet here because this is a complete scare board for him. I mean, he doesn't want to see this board. He's sitting there, what could have Shaw raised with? And he could have raised with 7s, 8s or 9s or, you know, King, Queen or Jack 10. He could have raised with any of these hands. Bit small, that bet. Not happy with that bet.
Another 15.
Raise 15.
There you go. He wanted to check raising.
This is...
Oh, 3 there.
I know.
See, now Modha, he's got to push all in here. And I'll tell you the reason why as well. Unless he puts him on a set of 10s, 7s or 8s, he's got to push all in and charge him the price, and that's exactly what he's done.
He has. Modha's gone all in very quickly. Shaw says, how much? And this is what happens when you slow play aces. You find yourself involved with a big pot sometimes.
He's going to get called here, Jesse. This is why Shaw's been plugging away, getting loads of chips. And I think he's got enough chips to call this and lose and still have chips for the tournament. So I think, you know, the way he's looking at it, he's got 8 outs here, you know. Any Jack, any 6, you know, he's going to make a straight, and he would say that's good now.
Yeah, and the 2 9s will work as well.
Well, yeah, because, yeah.
So this is Raj Modha's tournament here. He needs the aces to hold. He played for a big pot. He's got a big pot, but Shaw drawn very live.
Well, he's completely live here. There's plenty of 6s alive, Jacks alive, and even the 9's good now, so,
The key to this, Modha not scared to gamble, was he?
Well, no, but he knew he had the best hand. He played it exactly right. They both played it exactly right. Now it's down to the poker gods to decide who takes it. And I'll tell you what, Jess, whoever wins this,
strong favorite. 6, 9, or Jack. Those are the cards for John Shaw. Dunfermline hoping. Poker Million man Raj Modha says, hold 'em. Full house.
The aces stand. They hold. Wow, Jesse.
That could have gotten your adrenaline pumping. Modha looks like he's in a Sunday park, but Shaw there. Thinking, geez, that was a bit unlucky.
Well, I put him in a big
Could have
pair.
done anything different.
No, they both played the hand 100% correctly. But what you'll find is now is this will be a big test to Shaw now because he's had loads of chips. And he's been playing fantastically well and hitting hands, and all of a sudden, you know, he's drifted down the pecking order here, and Raj from nowhere, all of a sudden he's chip leader. Look at John Shaw, 107,000 still. He's still got plenty of play.
Don't think you have what it takes to win, then you shouldn't take your seat. Our players are learning exactly how important confidence is. Let's see if they can take the pressure after the break.
Welcome back to the action in the partypoker.net World Open 3. John McGill on the bottom of that leaderboard, 34,000. He's paid the price for his early aggression, and you saw Modha out on top. The Raj now on the action. Modha back to the drawing board with the ace-10. He's still well in the chip lead.
He's got a nice hand, yeah.
Raise to 12,000.
He knows he's very probably in front here, so he makes a good raise. Get all the rubbish out the pot early. Now this is where people, you know, if they call with 7-8 and 8-9 and they hit, this is where they get paid off. You know, this is where guts could tell. And John loves his hand. I know he loves 7-8 of hearts.
7-8 suited and 7-8 offsuit, about a 1% disadvantage, but in the beauty stakes, they're massively different, aren't they?
I'll tell you what, he could push you.
Oh my.
He could. He knows he's got 2 live cards. He doesn't care what he's up against. He knows he needs to double up.
Raise all in.
And he has. He's gone all in. And Daz is thinking, have I got a hand at last? No, I think he threw an 8 away though.
It's only 22 more.
Andy, I know he's confident he's got 2 live cards, but he will be losing anyway, won't he?
Of course, Raj is going to call here. I mean, he cannot not call for another 22,000. But when he sees the cards, he'll be delighted.
He plays.
And McGill's going to do his best to try and put him off here, make him fold. He's going to try and tell him a hand that you know that he's obviously beaten. He may tell him you've got ace jack or ace queen. In other words, implying he could beat that pre-flop, so he could try and get Modha to fold this.
But it's just only 22,000 more.
Behind.
Well, 50,000 in the middle is
getting 5 to 2.
That's not what
he can't fold.
Okay, that is
he can't fold.
He's nearly getting the price to take on ace jack or ace queen, isn't he? I mean, he's not that far away from it.
It's impossible for a poker player in this situation to fold, Jesse. He just cannot fold. I mean, it's different if he's got the complete short stack and all the rest of it. This guy's chip leader. He's not going to throw ace-10 away. He may be scared of John at the moment, but with the pot being the size it is, and for 22,000 to try and knock a player out, he's got to be taking this.
This is the meeting of the $1 million man, and right now it looks like Modha is going to marauder McGill.
He's making a decision. He's thinking, but I can't see what there is to think about. He should be in the pot. He should, you know, should be in already. I mean, when Modha thinks about this properly and counts the pot size, he's just going to put his chips in the middle.
I shouldn't really call this, but I think I'm going to call it.
Exactly what we just said 10 minutes
call?
ago.
Yeah, I'm calling.
Oh, it's a queen 5. Queen 5. That's better.
Oh, it's a bit better than that.
Oh, you've 2 over.
I'm rooting for John here. I've got to say, I'm rooting for him.
McGill's problem is Queen 5 had a beat as well. But he is all in here. And 72,000, he's gotten out of it once.
Well, if he wins this, Jesse, you can be sure you're going to see a new man playing.
Yeah, for sure.
I'll tell you something, just for entertainment-wise, I hope he wins.
Hearts!
Oh, dear, look at this. Right, any heart to do for now?
I'll tell you, which of these guys is more in form right now? Could
7
be.
or 8 here now.
John McGill.
7 or 8 here now will keep me, haven't we?
7, 8 or a heart. Oh, no help there.
Well,
and now that
king
opens up a
hearts.
king for Raj as well.
Yeah, the 8's no good. It has to be a 10 now, or a heart, or a 7, isn't it?
Yeah. He's still in. He's still got a chance.
Nice
That's
hand.
it. He's gone.
No problem at all. Pleasure.
See, that's the one thing about John, Jesse. He comes to win. He doesn't come to play second. He's come to win this tournament.
Yeah, he's a classy guy, John McGill.
Okay, thank you.
Pleasure to watch play, but the cat in the hat is hooted out here first. Looking at that hand again, McGill made it close there. The flush draw, the straight draw, it all looked dangerous, but the ace on the river and 2 pairs holding up for Raj.
Just couldn't get started at all. Just one of them things. If there's no losers, there'll be no winners.
Well, 5-handed now, Greekfish, and that big seat open. How is that going to change the pace of the game?
Well, I don't think it's going to change it much at the moment until the blinds go up again. But Raj will be feeling absolutely fantastic, yeah. Now, this is... He could cost himself this heat now by being silly, start raising with these hands. Got no need to. I mean, he's done the hard work now. He's just got to sit back and play his hands and take his time.
You mean let 1 or 2 players knock themselves out? And
Not even that. He just doesn't have to fight with 4-8 of diamonds. I mean, you know, if he makes a raise and someone re-raises, he can't take on the world with that hand. Convey's found a pair of threes here. And have been lucky for John Shaw, so he's trying his luck here with a raise.
Convey might be in catch-up mode a little bit. He doesn't want to let Raj get out of touch.
No, he's this is good play by him. He's trying to win the tournament. And the thing is, if he lets someone go out way in front, you know, he's got a lot of work to do. So he's doing the right thing.
5 players still in.
And what we're looking at now, Jesse, there's got to be a move made very soon by Sassoon and Hickman.
Is Daz Hickman still at the table?
He's still there, and I'll tell you what, credit to him, Jesse.
Yeah.
Credit to him. He's been fantastic.
He's been pretty dry in the card area, hasn't he?
What hands has he had? He found one hand. He got, you know, he ran into a monster hand. Very, very unlucky. But what has he done wrong? He's done nothing wrong. I think he's been superb. He's just been unlucky. Maybe it's not his day today, but it's certainly not bad play.
An opportunity here from the button.
And that's his line in the sand.
It's a pretty big raise, actually. Hickman down to 36,000. It's 9 times.
He doesn't want to call, Jesse.
No way.
Now, I think Raj should get away from this. How much was the raise, yeah?
It's 32,000 more.
Right, yeah. Well, looking at it from Raj's point of view, why would he want to call with King 10 now? I mean, if we're talking, you know, his head's up, then obviously it's an automatic call. But he's got no reason to gamble here.
Right, I mean, he can call, find out he's ahead, and still lose, and then he's created a monster, hasn't he?
That's right. And he's going to double a dangerous player up. But the thing is now, the correct play, in my view, everyone views things differently, is that he cannot call with King 10 here. Because if he does, he's gambling. He knows he's gambling, and he doesn't need to when he's got so many chips.
As well.
There's no decision here for you, Raj.
It's the line between don't feed the bears and an opportunity to knock someone out, isn't it?
Well, on top of that, there's a player behind.
Actually, no.
No, it's a
I think it's just down to Modha in the big blind here.
Sorry, yeah. Well, I don't think it's a call he can make here. I mean, ask yourself, Jesse, if you're in his position now, you are gambling. If you're calling with King 10 now, even if you think you're good, you're giving someone an opportunity to win a big pot when, you know, you've got relatively small money in the pot. He could wait for a better shot.
I mean, he's got 236,000 if he folds here.
Well,
it's pretty strong.
I don't like it. I don't like it. If he calls, then good luck to him. I think the correct play here is to put it down. Although he is in front.
I'll tell you who doesn't want the call is Daz Hickman. I think Daz has worked out that he's in bad shape here. Daz is usually staring straight ahead. He's turned over now towards Raj. He's very interested.
Yeah.
Oh, let's gamble.
Oh, look, Raj is called. Oh, my God. Yeah. But he said it. Let's gamble.
Yeah,
he doesn't think he's in front.
Hickman gave a wince. That was sort of like he's been hit over the bows.
That's my favourite end.
That's a message there, Jesse. Raj is here to win this. He ain't here to play about.
Hickman, a fair shot here. I guess he's about, oh, what is it, 60-40, is he? Or 2-1 against?
Well, anything could happen here.
About 2-1 against.
About 2-1, yeah.
5 cards to come, and no help for Daz.
You get the feeling this could be Motor stagging.
Well, the Bridge North Bomber looking very ragged right now. He needs a queen, he needs a 9, he needs it fast.
Needs to get lucky.
That card has really changed nothing. There are no split pots out there.
No. He's going to need a 9 or a queen, or he's going to be leaving.
Kings on the river, and
Good luck, boys.
yeah,
No surprise he's had no luck all night.
Good luck, my friend.
he's a good player. Second in the Party Poker European Open, the World Open though, second out.
Called him with King 10, he cannot think he's winning.
But aces and kings did take the money.
I've decided to push in with Queen 9 against the blinds, which is normally strong enough to take on the blinds, but the guy on the big blind called me with King 10, he's in front, and he stayed in front.
What do these guys have to do to stop Raj Modha at this point? He's encroaching on half the chips in play. If you're sitting down there, if you're Convey, if you're Shaw, if you're Sassoon, what are you thinking to yourself?
You need to get some hands very quickly. I mean, he's shown that he will call already. He's, you know, with the ace 10, the king 10, he's shown that he's willing to call.
That scares people a little bit, doesn't it?
Well, it does. They know that if they make a move on him and he's got half a hand, he, you know, because he's got so many chips, he could call.
Wow! Big all-in from a huge all-in from Modha. With the ace 8.
Wow.
And Convey's got a big hand here.
Convey's got him locked up there, but can he call this? Now he's sitting there thinking he's got a pocket pair here, you know, and it's a coin flip.
A nice one here as well.
Wow. Raj talking there, saying he's got a nice hand. Why would he do that if he had aces or kings or anything like that? It would just be quiet.
Has Raj been hit by adrenaline here?
I don't know what's going on here, to be honest with you.
Pocket 7's pocket 8.
Convey's going to get a read on him, and let's see if he can make the right call here. I mean, you've got to remember, Jesse, you know,
Ace king, got that.
7,000 to enter the tournament, and he's sitting there, you know, got ace queen. He's got to make a tournament decision now. If he loses, he's out.
Greekfish, I mean, Convey made it 12,000, and Modha re-raised about 170 more. It's all of Convey's chips.
Big bet all in, you know, it's a big raise.
Well,
Convey's working that one
quite a
out
few
now,
chips in,
Jesse.
Well, you're the second in. If I take you out, I think I'm...
If I call and win this, then I'm in good shape, aren't I?
True as well.
He's worried about the
You're in
ace
the second
king.
at Chipley though, if I take you out.
There's every chance Modha could
I'm in
have
pretty good
ace
shape
king.
myself.
Agreed.
There's no right or wrong decision here. If Convey puts him on a pair, then he could call, you know, and have a coin flip and try and win the tournament. Or he could try and wait for a better
down
spot.
full-handed, you know.
I think he's going to fold.
You got to do what you got to do, mate.
I think if he was going to call, he would have put it on already. But as I said, he's going to work this one out. Modha's biggest.
It is a big hand to lay down four-handed.
Well, Modha's telling him he's goading him. And this is, you know, he never done that when he had big hands before, like the aces. He's talking, he's shooting,
You don't really want me to call though, do you?
Exactly.
Smart guy.
He's
Convey.
worked it out. If you wanted him to call, why would he go all in?
So you're thinking maybe it's a small pair, 3s or 4s?
I'm thinking he's putting him on 7s or 8s. That's what if I was in Convey's position, I'd be putting him on a medium pairs. Just, do you want to gamble? You know you're going to be a coin flip if you've read the hand right. But as it turns out, Convey's got him absolutely locked up if he does call.
I think Modha's just lost his head for a second
like that,
here.
you can't, you?
It's an insane play to make with ace 8, isn't it?
That's all it takes, one mistake. One mistake could cost you this tournament. You've got to play perfect all the way through it.
Okay.
Marty's put the clock on him, he's got 30 seconds. And the way he's talking, I think he's going to end up throwing the hand away. He's trying to get a last, you know, second read out.
Oh, wow, he's
call.
called!
Fantastic.
Modha handed him this tournament and Convey grabbed it!
Fantastic call, brilliant.
How gutsy is that?
That's really gutsy. And if you ask him what he put Modha on, he would have told you a pocket pair.
Oh my!
He don't put him on an ace, because if he puts him on an ace, he's going to think he's got ace king and he's behind.
I don't know what happened to Raj Modha. Everything was going his way.
Adrenaline went to his head.
Anything but an 8. It is Convey all in, but leading well ahead now. And wow, this young guy,
Raj
he's
is
only
sick.
28 years old.
Raj is absolutely sick here.
There are no split pots out there. An 8 and only an 8. One more, says Convey.
He's calling it. And he survives. He's done it.
Nice hand.
Thank you.
What a great call, Jesse.
I mean, what was the deciding... At the end of the day, what was the deciding factor?
He worked it out. He turned around and said, hold up, he doesn't want me to call. Why would he do a huge re-raise like that? You know, he doesn't want to call, so he must have a pocket pair, and I'm going to be a coin flip, worse-wise. And that's what he's thinking to himself now. He read it 100%. I mean, if you ask him yourself, he'd probably tell you thought you had a, you know, medium pair.
Over 300,000. We've only played 2 levels.
That's just incredible. That's incredible. And look at Sassoon. You know, he's still at the bottom of the pile, but he's got 60,000 double up away from being dangerous. John Shaw sit there, you know, he don't know what to think of all this. He was chip leader and everything was going fine, and it's all turned again. We've had 4 different people now, Jesse, going the chip leader. All of these players that are in now have all had that sometime, the chip lead.
Well, I know.
I mean, Mark, you've got to say he's got a great chance now. He's got lots and lots of chips. But then again, he's got dangerous players.
Four-handed, and the blind's going to 3 and 6,000. The big question here, I think, Greekfish, is how will Raj Modha react to losing half his chips? Is he rattled?
He's extremely rattled, and I think you're going to see him make some crazy plays and moves now.
I mean, looking at Modha's stack, he's got 120-something thousand. He's got plenty of chips, but he doesn't feel like that, does he?
He feels like he's been shot through the heart at the moment after losing that huge pot.
And even though it was a good call by Convey, it did surprise everyone. It was a big call.
It was the correct call if he thought about it.
Right.
And he did call it right as well.
Sassoon getting busy into the chip
8,000
leader
more.
with not much of a hand. And with Queen 10, Convey, is he within his rights to go all in here?
Well, he's got the chips now. He's doing the right thing here. He's going to see if he could catch a flop first before committing any more chips to the pot.
Queen will be a disaster right now for Sassoon.
Well, Sassoon comes out betting, and that's his only real chance of winning the pot, yeah. If he checks, then Convey will take it.
Sassoon's on about 40,000. How much does he want to put in here?
Wow, he's going to have to stick the lot in to take it, otherwise he's going to have to wipe his mouth here and fold. Or check even. He cannot push Convey around. He knows that with the amount of chips he's got.
How much have we got left?
Oh, yeah.
Well
this is
played.
the problem with trying to take on the chip leader, isn't it?
Well, it's a problem, but he's also gotten out with a jack. He knows he hasn't got a king.
6 down.
Because otherwise he's going to come out betting it.
Check.
Check.
Oh, and he's checked.
Free card.
Yeah.
Just open the wormhole for Sassoon to bluff it. Oh, not now. Oh,
Well,
boy, it's all over now.
Check.
No, he's good enough. Yeah.
All in. Call.
All in and call. And Convey worried now that Sassoon has a king, but he doesn't. The 10 plays. It's queens with a king 10-9. And in fact, unless Sassoon catches a 5, well, he's got a couple cards for the split. A 9, a deuce for the split, a 5 for the win. Anything else, and Sassoon is out.
Very unlikely. It's very unlikely he's going to get lucky here.
We're about to go 3 ways. Sassoon needs help.
And Convey's took control.
10 does play, and that is it. Sassoon, who has been a huge force in this heat, wriggling out here in 4th, and wow.
He's done himself proud, Jesse. He's been fantastic.
Sassoon checked the flop with money in, and when the turn came, he thought he was good, but he wouldn't. 10 played. Queens, king 10-9.
When you play poker, you expect the unexpected, you know, at times, you know. I just thought he might have paired the 10 rather than the king or the queen. And I called him, and that's the way the chips fall, unfortunately.
This is the partypoker.net World Open 3.
I think John Shaw needs to get busy quickly now. He's got 69,000 and he's woke up with a big hand.
Best way for him to get paid?
Well, he's got to be aggressive.
Yeah, I'm all in.
Yeah, that's the best way. You know why, don't you, Jesse? Because if anyone's got half a hand, they're going to take him on now because they think he's only got 69,000. That's it. If he runs into, a big king or, a small pair, they're going to call him.
No, I like to look at the first card, but not the second one. How much is it?
Oh, he's getting called. He's going to get called, Jesse.
And the overbet by Shaw, that's looked deceptively weak, hasn't it?
That's exactly right. That's why I said the best way to get paid is for him to be aggressive. He's going to be called here, Jesse. You can't fold King Queen free-handed with this, with 69,000 left, and he's got 302. He's going to try and take him out here.
Convey getting the bulk of the tough decisions tonight.
Well, what he's thinking, Jesse, if he could take John Shaw out, he's going to almost have a 2-to-1 chip lead. On Raj heads up, which he will need every penny of that by the looks of things.
And what's the penalty for losing?
Well, the penalty is he's got to reassess his game, and it puts John Shaw in.
He's called.
Good luck to you too.
Yeah,
and those last two hands
ouch,
are going to be the crucial ones for Convey if he doesn't catch the queen, because he'll be back into the pack, and it'll be nearly level between the three. It'll be anybody's game.
Well, the poker god's gone against him. He's had nothing go his way now.
This is the first chance John Shaw has really had since he lost with the 2 9s against the aces to give himself a real wieldable stack. He's got his money in good. Can he make the big slick hold?
Jesse, he knows it. Look at him. He's looking confident. Oh, that's terrible.
No, it's a flush.
He's got the flush.
I'll tell you what, nobody saw it. Those cards, the lights.
We just see the queen.
And Shaw's actually, he's got Convey drawn dead.
He's dead, yeah. That's fantastic. We see the queen and we're just about to complain about his sick luck, and he's got the nuts.
Yeah.
That's fantastic. This is good for the game now. This evens it right out, Jesse.
Yeah, in point of fact, Convey wasn't drawing.
Well, he was.
Right. He could have had 2 running cards for the house, but
almost.
Can't do that again. That was too close.
It was amazing. You saw the queen. He was headed for the exit. Then realized he'd flopped the nuts.
I'll tell you what, Jesse, we're in for a game now.
That would have been a disaster.
That would have been too much, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
Blinds now 5 and 10,000. Not horrible news for Shaw and Convey, even though they're on the shortish stacks. Easier to get a double up when there's all that money in there, but give me the cards and I'll get the money, says Modha.
And he's found another ace. Incredible. See, Jesse, most times, an ace free-handed is going to be winning. And especially when you're betting, people just cannot call. They cannot call with rubbish.
Well, just having a look around, I mean, he realizes with this raise that if Convey's playing, then it's going to be for something like 90,000 more.
Correct, but he won't call. If Convey moves on him, he cannot call with ace-7. This is not heads up now. There's 3, there's 3 players in, and he has no need to be calling with ace-7.
Right.
Maybe if the 7 was a bit bigger, the kicker, then fair enough, but no.
So he's put that 30,000 in with the intention of folding to the re-raise.
He wants it there and then. He can't call a re-raise. Even if he thinks his ace is good, he's going to put the other guy on a pair or 2 face cards. He doesn't want to play bingo. He's good enough to win this tournament as he's doing now.
I mean, this has been looking like complete and utter domination these last 2 levels. Such one-way traffic.
Yeah, but it looks that way, Jesse, but simply he's had the cards. The other boys haven't had the cards.
Raise all in.
All in there.
Plus.
And it's just over 100,000. Modha with the overcards has a think.
He's got a decision here. I don't think he's going to call.
He doesn't need to, does he?
He doesn't need to if he thinks about it.
Yep.
If he thinks about it logically, he doesn't need to be calling. He can't beat a rag ace at the moment.
I mean, why give Convey a shot to get back in it?
That's exactly right, Jesse, and he will probably come to the same conclusion as us and put it away. Right down. He doesn't need to be involved. How many chips has he got in the pot? Why would he want to call, 100,000 plus more? He just doesn't need to.
No, but he does like the action.
123.
There's gambling in this stupidity.
In total.
How much is it?
123 in total.
No,
So that's 10.
Yep.
113 more.
That's correct.
No, Raj, you can't make this call.
But Modha's got over 300,000.
irrespective.
Just over a third of his stack.
If he loses, and he's going to be down to 200,000, which still puts him straight in the tournament, but I don't agree with this call. I don't think this is the correct play. As my personal opinion as a poker player, this is a bad play if he calls this.
And in fact, you consider it almost an automatic fold.
I would fold straight away. He can't beat an ace, let alone a pair.
And because he's thinking the worst chances is that Convey could have him dominating.
Well, that's what he's got to be thinking. I mean, Raj is a good enough player to get away from this quite easily. Put him to the decision, make him sweat, fine. But you cannot call this, Raj. If you want to win this tournament, you can't be putting in, you know, over 100,000 chips with King Queen. If it's different, if they're short stacked, you know, Jesse, if they're short stacked, then they can say, yeah, you know, we need to double up and play and all the rest of it. He doesn't need to make this call. He really doesn't. And if he thinks about it, he's going to pass it.
I call.
He's called everything else, and Modha's doing it again. But this not bad for Convey. It's actually his best shot to get back in it.
Well, Modha's going to be delighted he has called it after seeing his hand now, because he's got 2 overcards. But I'm just saying, I don't think it was the right decision, but we'll soon see.
Sixes all in against the King Queen. Modha giving Convey a second chance at life here, or the hatchet.
And that's what usually happens, you see. There
you go.
Form, confidence, success. And Convey is just on the bitter end of a short straw.
I feel sorry for Convey here.
Well, he's done himself well here. 2 sixes still on the deck, but does anybody expect them to come on the river?
Well, Convey don't, that's for sure.
So,
you could give yourself a pat on the back there, Mark. Played really well. I'm surprised with that last call. It depends how you want to gamble. He's obviously wanted to gamble.
Don't bluff the $1 million Modha. Modha called. It was all his chips nearly. Well, a third of them anyway. King on the flop, queen on the flop. 6 is out the door. We're head up.
It was a tale of 2 halves, I think, really. The first half before the break, everything went perfect. You know, I got my chips in good positions and built up a nice stack. Made a big call just before the break with ace-queen against Raj's ace-8, which held up, and that gave me half the chips in play. But then after the break, just a lot of like marginal hands didn't go my way, and maybe I shouldn't have made a couple of calls and I should have called a couple, but it's the way poker goes, unfortunately.
1-on-1, 2 gentlemen here. One will open the door, the other will get kicked out of it. Real different routes to get to this stage. I mean, Shaw has let others do the pain. He's taken care of his stack, while Modha, broadsword.
Can't do that now. Raj is like a machine at the moment, and he's just not going to give him nothing the way free.
I wonder if Shaw's going to up his game here and just try and start taking shots at Raj.
I think that's exactly what's going to happen. I think that's exactly what he's got to do to have any sort of chance.
Oh gosh, well, he can't
and
beat
look at
that.
That's when it's your day, Jesse, it's your day. It's just simple as that.
Cool.
Has he got anything to
And
play
no
with? Ooh, 5-2.
Yeah. I wonder what could happen here. Modha well within his rights to try and slow play here, but is danger on the lurk?
Not really, no. He's got to take a chance.
Check.
Check.
Half a hand for Shaw, bottom pair.
How much does he think he's in front?
10,000.
Sorry.
10,000.
Oh, sorry.
And
John Shaw's just said, I've got some of this.
Deuce or 5.
Yeah, that's what he's just told Raj. It'd get more expensive.
Check.
Check. Check.
I mean, what's the proper bet here? You want action, but you want to make it expensive.
You want to make it 20,000 now.
When is that? You can have that. I'm going to go you down with a pair of 2s.
How much did he bet?
It looked like about 45, I think. Size of the pot, anyway.
I started playing poker about a couple of years ago, just as a friendly games and so on, and then decided to enter Ledbrokes Poker Million 5 satellite, and kept going through all the different hurdles, and ended up winning the whole thing in December, just before Christmas. So a very nice Christmas present. Getting credibility before winning the Poker Million is nice, you know. I said, I do get recognised a little bit more than I used to before, kind of thing. So that's a nice feeling. My family are mad supporting me. I mean, even when I won the Poker Million, they had a big table full of supporters from the family and friends that came and supported me. So yeah, I have a very good following from my family. The next port of call is playing the WSOP, so really looking forward to playing in Las Vegas, hopefully getting on a table with famous names like Phil Ivey, Gus Hansen and so on. So yeah, really looking forward to that. I do enjoy playing in front of the cameras because it's, you get more time to think, and you're not more under pressure, like especially playing online. You have to make a decision in 10 seconds or something. So yeah, I like playing sort of relaxed games. And when you're playing against good players as well, it makes it even more interesting. Winning has always been important to me. And I think poker is one of the games where if you have that mental of winning, it does reward you quite handsomely as well. Aggression does pay. And it's nice to be in the winning seat now and then.
I mean, I guess mathematically it's all about when Shaw draws his line in the sand. Does he want to go, what is it 75? Is it 100? I mean, where is the line?
Well, the line is when he gets the feeling. I mean, he obviously doesn't want to do it with 2 rags, but it won't take much for him to push all in. And he knows even if he goes all in and he doubles up, he's still, going to be well out chipped.
Raise. 15's
Nice
raise.
looking
Yeah,
hand for Raj.
nice hand for Raj there. Now can he find a hand? That's, oh wow.
All in.
Oh dear.
Just what the doctor ordered.
And on top of that, he's suited for Raj. He's going to have a good think about this, Jess.
Well,
I mean, it won't surprise me if
feels
he
like an
calls.
automatic call for Raj, doesn't it? It's head up, isn't it?
Even if he loses, he's still chip leader. So he's got a free shot of taking a guy out of the tournament and winning it. So yeah, if you look at it from that perspective, then it's an automatic
So
call.
108 in total.
108, so that's 85. No, 90.
93.
He's in, isn't he, Jess? He's going to be pushing you.
Well, he's getting more than 6-4.
Well, the way he's looking at it, he could finish the tournament now. Even if he knows he's behind, he still wants to have a shot at ending the tournament now.
I think from Modha's point of view, it'd be quite unlucky to find Shaw with aces.
Well, can you imagine? It's the only thing that has gone wrong. I mean, thinking back to the King-Queen, Jesse, he went all in with the King-Queen. He called that. This is heads up, King-6 suit. It's a big, big hand.
I mean, Modha's called every single thing that's moved, and here he's actually having to think.
And do you know what? He's been right, Jesse, every time.
He's
as well.
always right.
And I'll tell you what, if he makes the fold here, Jesse, no, he can't. Yeah.
Good
luck.
Good luck, he said. You wait till you see his hand,
Actually,
mate.
the last thing Shaw needs is good luck. All he needs is not to have tremendously bad luck.
I'll tell
it's
you
a
what.
much better spot.
Has Raj seen the aces yet?
No.
Oh, dear. Let's have a look at his face, Jesse.
There's one more, isn't it?
Just going to make sure the pot's right here. That's important. And the answer is going to be if the bullets hold.
108.
That
Look at
Shaw,
Shaw.
yeah, he's going to be doing very well back in this.
Shaw's
108.
making him wait. Look, Jesse, it's quite funny.
That's 100.
And he just
That's
doesn't know what bad shape he's
Well,
in.
yeah, I mean, he's
That's
not
119.
so wrong here. They've got to get the pot
119
right.
there.
I mean,
Yeah, of course, yeah. First things
Yes,
first.
119.
I don't think he's...
But you know what? I can't bet
Yeah, it's
against
alright, 108 in total.
Raj
So it's
here,
108.
getting lucky.
Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah.
Here you go. Give him 2 blues, darling. Please. There we go.
Yep.
Thank you.
Just a
Right,
little bit
cards
to make
open,
sure the
please.
pot is right. It
Good
is 236,000. And hello. Oh, boy.
Yeah. Oh. Very good hand.
No spins, please.
Can you believe
Very
that
good
ends up? He finds aces against him.
I didn't know
He
it
saw
was
the
that strong.
first ace and saw the second.
Wow.
Not exactly sure what the percentages are. They're pretty dire for Modha. It was about 5-1 against or something.
Keep
more.
them
Very, very bad now, aren't they? He's going to need runners. No spades to help him.
Oh, yeah, it's ugly now. It's drawing
Yeah, and
dead
that's
here.
out. Yeah.
Nice
He's
hand.
doubled up, Jesse.
He
We're back
has.
on.
I mean, this is John Shaw's aces up here. It is his chip peak since this heat began. He is climbing.
Well, now he's not far behind at all. He's got like 240,000 or so. And he's really in with a shout here. And it just shows you, Jesse, a pair of aces makes all the difference.
A little wind in John Shaw's sails, but still a slog from here. Plenty more heads-up action to come after the break.
Welcome back to the partypoker.net World Open 3. Let's go back to the table as the action continues.
5 and 10,000 level is over. 7 and 15 will start. And Modha's got the lead, but it's tight.
Could all swing around with a few hands, but I still fancy Modha. I think he's been superb tonight. He's played superb, but Shaw's still dangerous. All he needs is 1 or 2 hands. If he changes gear, then he could do this.
If Shaw doesn't pick up a hand in the next 5 or 6, he's going to get very low quickly.
Well, Shaw needs to get busy now. He needs to be, you know, showing Raj that he's not going to be pushed around. And Raj has found an ace again. He's done that very often tonight, hasn't he, Jess?
Yeah, he loves those aces.
22,000.
Wow, look at that.
All in.
And he's made the right play as well.
Re-raise, all in.
It's simply a cold deck here, ace versus ace. Now, I wonder...
No, he can't. Don't even say that, Jesse. He cannot call.
It's too big now.
The 6 kills it. The ace is great, but the 6 kills it. He cannot call with the 6. He'd prefer to call with Queen Jack rather than call with ace 6. He can't do it. He doesn't want to. He's not interested in this now. He's asked the question. It's been answered.
If Modha calls and loses, he'll have 160,000 left. He can fold. He has folded, and he's still got the chip lead. That's a very smart play.
Correct, Raj. Well played, Raj. That's the right play. What I'm saying, Jesse, he doesn't want the 6. I mean, he'd rather have 2 definitely live cards rather than the 6, which he thinks is dead.
You can't call every hand, can you?
No. A shame he never showed the ace.
Sorry,
John Shaw with a pair of 5s now.
Really 2 or 3 big hands in a row here for Shaw.
Well, this is a big hand. I mean, heads up, a pair of 5s is a very big hand. I mean, for the people watching at home, you know, you try doing yourself 20 hands on the trot, you'll see.
Total.
And I think it was just over a minimum raise, perhaps. I wonder.
Don't like that.
It's 15,000 more.
Well, he's going to get action, Jesse. I mean, he wants to raise a little bit bigger now. I mean, if Raj had a hand that he wanted to play there, he couldn't fold for a minimum raise. You don't want action with the 5s because no flop's going to make him feel comfortable.
Yeah, it is interesting though. Both these guys, well, we haven't really seen a flop heads up yet. They're a bit flop averse, aren't they?
Well, they've got respect for each other. You can say that.
Cool.
Cool.
And that's a new wrinkle. Let's take one off, says Raj.
No raise.
No raise.
Yeah, he ain't done that, has he?
I think Modha's right here. I mean, Modha does seem to be getting the better of these sort of cheap flops, doesn't he?
But he's been hitting cards, and
yeah,
and when he hasn't been hitting, he's been representing that he's been hitting.
Check.
Up for grabs right now. Advantage?
Raj, I should say. Modha.
Yeah,
Check.
Raj actually got a much nicer straight draw here. Flush draw.
Raj doesn't check twice. We've seen this time and time again. And although it's a small bet, it's good enough to take it.
Pass.
Raj just will not check twice.
Mm-hmm.
It reminds me a bit of the devilfish like that. Even if it's a small bet, Jesse, like the 20,000 that he made, it still can't be called. He's asking questions all the time, Raj, and that's what makes him the player he is.
600,000 in play, so 332 to 268. And well, Modha has the lead, obviously, and all in here with pretty much decided. Shaw's willing here, isn't he?
He's monster hand.
$40
40,000 total.
A little bit more.
I think it's slightly too big. Because the thing is, if he takes the blinds, he'd be grateful, but also, you know, he's going to have to double up and try and win this tournament. By raising like that, he's, you know, he's going to need to find a hand against him to get action.
This game started out very friendly in the heads up, and these guys are both great sportsmen, but obviously competition taken over, and it's gotten a little bit serious now. You don't want to have come this far and not push that extra mile.
That's the thing, Jesse. I mean, they've come so far, but they've won nothing yet.
Nice.
And we've got two good players battling it out here. And, you know, Raj has changed his game all of a sudden. Have you just noticed that? He's not raising. You know, he's sitting back and just waiting now.
I wonder if he's sort of trying to come up with a new strategy right in the middle here. Perhaps what he's doing hasn't been working. I mean, what is the best strategy for Raj to employ right now?
Well, you know, what he's doing now is not, you know, wrong. There's no wrong way to play this now. You could be aggressive or you could just be passive and play your hands.
Pass.
I mean, the style, you know, that John Shaw's got, he's not asking anything of Raj.
Right, he's not putting Raj under pressure, is he?
Correct. So Raj is playing his own, you know, pace, and he doesn't have to do nothing. So he's just sitting there saying, when I get a hand, I'm going to get paid. You know, there's no pressure on either of them. No one's pressuring each other at the moment. The only thing I will say, Raj will not check twice. If he checks once, you know, the other guy checks again, then that's it. He's going to be putting even a small bet out.
I wonder what Shaw's plan is. He's obviously been very successful this evening in getting on when he has the good hands.
Pass.
And I'm honestly surprised to see Modha do that, Greekfish, because it seems like he can always spare 8,000 just to peel off a flop from the button. It's not like Shaw's going to be raising there without a hand.
Well, I'll tell you exactly what's happened here. Raj thinks he's the best player out there at the moment. And as he thinks he could outplay John. So he's just sitting there biding his time. He doesn't feel no pressure. He's not fearing anything.
Problem is, of course, the blinds will catch up with these guys at some point. It's only 21 hands a level. They're going fast and furious.
That's right.
Raise to 40,000 total.
Same raise.
Oh, wow. If Modha slips up here, he's going to find them playing a big pot. He is re-raising. It's all going to go in.
Definitely.
A mistake.
I don't know.
King 10's big.
It is big. It is big. He's unlucky to run into ace jack.
Okay, you've already got 15 in. So you just need to match the 25.
Mike is asking the question. He's going to be answered the question now. What he does after that, we don't know.
Yeah, sorry.
I know what you
It was 40.
Another 40.
Let's see how John Shaw.
We raised all in.
Yeah, he does value the ace jack.
Well,
Yeah.
You're right,
That all
Jesse.
happened. I mean, Shaw was just ironclad, wasn't he?
Well, you called that right, didn't you?
Well, I mean, Modha's wishing now he looked at the flop first, but obviously 5 cards to decide it all. There's 580,000. Shaw does have the lead here, but there's not that much in it.
This is effectively tournament over for the loser, real.
These guys have both played very well.
Yeah, it's been brilliant all the way through it.
Oh,
and
it's
that's the
Modha!
difference.
He has hit the flops when he's needed to, and now Shaw just needs running diamonds or an ace.
Wow, Jesse, this is what happens when you get
Brutal.
luck.
Brutal.
A top player getting lucky, well, recipe for disaster.
Let's give him 2 more outs.
Yeah.
Shaw could hit a jack now. Any jack, any ace. The river.
It's all over, Jesse.
Raj Modha has done it. He has been the flop man, and
Think about it, mate.
John Shaw, the party poker, late night poker ace champion. I don't think I've ever seen Shaw play that well. He got so close, but Modha just too tough.
He's played a fantastic game, and overall he probably deserves it as well, Raj. He's been superb through this.
Well, Greekfish, the last hand, they got all the chips in. Modha wishing perhaps he hadn't pushed, but not after the flop game.
2 big hands, and once Modha decided he was going to re-raise, that was it.
And the kings and threes holding up. Shaw threatened, but could not hit the ace nor the jack on the river. And it is Raj Modha through to the semis.
$1 Million Modha does it again. Raj Modha, congratulations.
Thank you, Jesse.
Very impressive heat. I mean, the most impressive thing, after you lost that big pot, you just really came right back storming into it.
Well, there was no other way to go. You know, it was right at the bottom, and it was the only way up, and the only way up was to play aggressive and see what happens. And luckily it worked out.
I mean, Marc obviously made a huge call with the ace-queen,
Yeah.
but then you put the same play on him again with the 2 deuces. That was gutsy.
Yeah, well, I didn't think of a pair, and he didn't have that many chips, if I recall correctly. So I thought it was 50-50 worth. I mean, even if I'd lost, I wouldn't have gone out. So I thought, I think I'll call this.
That match was played in a great spirit. I mean, you looked like you were having so much fun. Is it
Yeah,
more fun to play poker after you won the big tournament?
Definitely. I think it's much more fun to play live as well, you know, when you have a bit of a banter and so on. So, yeah, definitely enjoy playing live.
Plans for the semi-final now?
Probably the same. You know, just let's see what happens and try to come first again. But you don't have to, because you only have to come third.
Well, this semi-final already full of former television champions, Raj Modha, Jimmy White. Who will join them in the semis? Next week, it'll be Rob Cooper, Robin Keston, and Irishman Don Fagan when we see you next time on the partypoker.net World Open 3.